Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Friday the 6th of November comes to you from Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands. I'm down here for a week or two just escaping UK lockdown. So interestingly, we're seeing the dollar sinking lower, so that dollar weakness has just become quite a feature this last few days, and obviously all eyes still on the American election and the uncertainty around that. The markets are actually rising pretty strongly though, especially stocks. If we look at the euro, that's got a lot stronger with that weaker dollar, sitting at 118.50, so really recovering there. And we're now starting to question whether this was a bottom on the dollar. If we look back at the dollar chart, will the dollar go lower still? It'd be interesting to see. Sterling sitting at 131.30, so that's benefited from a weaker dollar, and now sitting quite happily on the 130s. And against the euro, sterling sitting at around 111. It's been pretty flat, although the performance over the last several weeks has improved gradually against sterling. Bitcoin is rocketing. It's sitting at $15,700. And really just now pushing much higher. We've got upside potential to some 19,700, 25% higher, so that's really key. The S&P 500 index is up 2%, so that's looking stronger. And we aren't yet making new highs, of course, but the market has had an incredibly strong week on the basis that the US election result looks like Biden, with the Democrats not taking the Senate, which means that most legislative changes won't be easily passed. And I think really that was the key worry for the markets, was what would happen to the FANG stocks with a Democrat majority in the Senate. So we're seeing the relief rally, but again, we're not yet making new highs, and the breadth is quite low. We've got a lot of different stocks still not making ground, so it's just the big caps that are really driving this forward. The Dow was up 2% yesterday as well, and it does look like we are going to give up some gains today. The S&P E-mini is down 0.2%, and the Nasdaq E-mini is down 0.6%, so it does suggest the market will open lower. The VIX volatility is well and truly back below that 30 mark, so we've gone to short-term bearish there, just really falling away this week. So the volatility is volatile, if that makes sense. So the fear index at the moment, markets are taking everything in their stride right now. The FTSE future is up 0.4%, but the cash markets in Europe, the DAX cash and future is down 0.25%, and the CAC Current is down also about 0.2%. So we are just waiting for what's going to happen in the US today. Looking at the Japanese market, it was up 0.5% yesterday. That's had a very strong week. And if we look at some of the other markets, not much change in China or Hong Kong. The Sensex in India has been pushing much higher, nudging new highs on the Sensex, and other indices are making new highs. So India looking very strong indeed now. The Aussie market was also up 0.8%, so that's looking much stronger too. Gold has moved very strongly. It's sitting at $1,950 now and is running well away. It bounced on the cloud, and we're seeing the best week in gold that we've seen for really since July. So gold is starting to run again. That's good news for gold bulls, of course. And silver also looking stronger as well. The US 10-year yields actually sitting at 0.77%. The days that we've seen this week with these moves, these massive moves on the election spike, really creating volatility in the yield price. Looking at the energy mix now, we've got Brent crude down just under 1% this morning. It's obviously had a very good week, bounced back quite sharply, but interestingly, we just hit the buffers. We need to remember that we did make the lower low, so that is bad on the medium-term outlook for Brent. Whilst we've recovered here, the fact that we've not got to a new high, we are seeing a progression of a lower high, then a lower low, and don't be surprised to see lower lows. We've still got these downside targets hanging over us, but for the moment we are short-term bullish. Brent crude, WTI, much the same picture, of course. We are seeing here, but we do have a downside target on 4% hanging over us, and we're down nearly 1% this morning, so that's quite significant. So we see nat gas has had a pretty bad week, sinking much lower below that $3 mark, and we are in short-term bearish territory there with downside targets into the 280s, so it looks like nat gas has further to fall. Taking a look at some of the other energy products, we've got emissions. They've had a pretty strong showing this week, so we're seeing that bounce. The key thing is this the bottom? That 23 level is now really quite critical, so that's quite key. And we're seeing here other products, gas products mixed, and of course German power has sunk as low as 36.60. We're back, still not managing to get back above that 40 level, so that's quite key as well. That's it for today. Until Monday, have a great weekend. Happy charting. See you then.